this is Kristi Villani from My Quilting Loft. How are you? Hey, thanks for hanging in there with us through this so long. I know it's been so much fun seeing all the blocks that you guys have been making, and I hope that you're enjoying them as much as I'm enjoying seeing them. And I know I've had fun making these, and there's a few of them that I'm like, I would love to see what else I could do with this block. Now that I've made this block, I want to maybe make a table runner or a whole quilt with just that block over and over again and see how fun that would be. And so, if you're having fun with it, with one of these blocks, do something with it and then show us what you've done with it. If you've made a table runner, a pillow, a placemat, a quilt, whatever it is that you've made, share pictures of those too on our Facebook group. And so if you're like, what Facebook group are you talking about? Go to My Quilting Loft on Facebook and then click the button that says join group. You'll have to answer a few questions so that I know that you're a legit quilter and not selling encyclopedias or something. And then we'll get you in there and then you can see all the things that everybody's doing. You can ask your questions and most of all, share pictures of what it is that you're making. And we love to see it. And now everybody is always so sweet on there. So you don't have to worry about if you think your blocks aren't perfect and whatever. Trust me, these are good people. You just post your pictures and you will get support. I promise you, that's what it's there for. So are you ready for our next block? Now, the Arizona block was a little bit tricky because, it just looks a little intimidating, but I promise it's just cutting up that fabric and sewing it back together. That's all you got to do. Just follow that YouTube tutorial that I did the last one and you can do it. Just don't be afraid. Just dive in and do it. Okay. Okay, so our next block is the Ohio Star block, and it is really fun. It is a lot easier than the Arizona one. The Arizona one maybe looked a little bit tricky, but it's just a matter of cutting up that fabric and sewing it back together again. You can do it. That's why there's a tutorial. If you're not sure how to do it, go back and watch that last tutorial, and I know you can do it. This Ohio Star block is very simple and it's super fun. This is an old one. It goes way, way, way back in quilting. And so there's a little string on there. Okay. Anyway, it's fun and easy and I know you can do it. So you ready? Ready to learn how to make this one? Okay, so first thing you're going to want is you're going to need your book. You're going to need your quick and easy block tool book that is available here at My Quilting Loft. You can go onto myquiltingloft.com and order a copy and I'll get that shipped right out to you. Or you can come on into the shop and pick up your copy now and you can just jump right in. You can catch up. I know you can do it. This is a fun, fun book. It's got lots of quilts in there. Now the one that we're doing next is the Ohio Star and it's number 65. But it's on page 77. So block number 65 on page 77, the Ohio Star block. Now, okay, so you're going to want to take a look at your book and you're going to want to get your fabric cut to the sizes that it says for the 9-inch block because we're going to make the 9-inch block and you're going to make 4 of them. So you're going to want to take a look where it says A, B, C, D, and E. Now those are not that doesn't mean that there's 5 fabrics. It means that there are 5 different components that you're going to have in this block. And so you're going to want to pay attention closely to that. I like to mark inside the book and just write in there which color I'm using for which thing. And you'll see there's a little grid in there that is just an outline of the block. You can take a look at that and there's one with letters in it and those will correspond to the cutting description. Now the A block, let's see, I'm looking here, the A block and the E block, go ahead and cut those to the sizes that it says. The B, C, and D, cut those a little bigger. You're probably seeing a theme here because that's what I always like to do. I want to be able to trim my block down and get it perfect rather than cut it just the size that it says and then hope that my 1/4 inch is just right and then it works out fine. For the method that I'm going to show you how to do these blocks, you're going to definitely need to bump that up. So bump it up by a 1/4 inch from what it says. So that's easy. You can do it. Okay. And I've already cut mine, so I'll just show you what I've got here. Okay, so here I've got my A, my B, my C, my D, and my E already cut and ready to go. And so I'm just going to set my A and E aside because I don't need those quite yet. Okay, so what we're going to want to start with is we're going to make 2 half square triangle sets, one with our B and C, and one with our C and D fabrics. And so if you don't have the diagonal seam tape that I've shown you that I have here on my machine, then all you got to do is just take a pin and draw a line from corner to corner, and then sew a 1/4 inch on either side of that line. Now you can use a Sharpie if you want because you're going to cut on this line. It's not going to matter a bit. Use a pencil. I just have a friction pin handy here, so that's what I'm using. Okay, then we're going to take it to the machine and sew a 1/4 inch on either side of that line. See that line there?
Now here's where you can just chain piece all of these because you're going to make 4 of this block. You can go ahead and have those all cut and sew them all at the same time. You don't need to just do one whole block and then one whole block of the next and then one whole block of the next. And then I do recommend a scant 1/4 inch. And if you don't know what that means, it means just a little bit shy of a 1/4 inch. But since we're going to trim these down, I suppose that doesn't matter too much.
Okay, so next thing I'm going to do, there we go. Just want to trim that. We just cut these on that line and then we will give them a press, set the seam, press it to the dark side. Do that for each of our little units and see, voila, we have half square triangle, easy peasy, but that's not where we're stopping. This is going to be a 1/4 square triangle. Done. Make sure to press them good and flat. You don't want any wrinkles, any bumps here, especially along the seam. It'll distort the size of your block. Okay, so now next thing you do is you take 2 opposite ones. Like, see these? I wouldn't want it, not these. No, no, no. 2 like this. Put them together with the color sides opposite. See, the pink is here and my purple is there. And nest those seams right up against each other. I can feel it with my fingers that those are in there. And then we're going to go the other direction. You're using your diagonal seam tape. You don't have to do this part, but if you don't have any, you just mark a line from corner to corner like that. Your seam is here, your line's here, and then you're going to sew on either side of that. Do that with each set here. And then we're already almost through this. Line. Then take it back to the machine.
Now it makes the most sense to sew with this going that direction. It's, you know, that way I'm going over my seam and I'm not going to push it back. Oh, that one is not going to be real straight, but that's okay. It'll be fine. Okay. Last one. Try and keep my point going along that line. Will really help with my accuracy there.
Notice as I set the seam there, set the seam before I cut it, it just skips a little step. Then you'll see that mark from the friction pin is gone like magic. Then you're just gonna sew, cut that in into 2 bits. Okay. So we cut those and then voila, quarter square triangle. That means there's 4, 4 little sections here, and you want the opposite two to be not matchy-matchy, and these opposite two to be matchy-matchy. And then give them a press. At this point, it doesn't really matter which direction you press them because there's no light side, no dark side, side where there's more seams or less seams. It's just press them. Just make sure they're flat. You don't want any, like I said before, you just don't want any bumps, just flat. And this is where the wool ironing mat comes in so handy. So handy. They're already put together. We're almost done already. So now we're just going to trim off those little dog ears and square this up to the exact right size. And you just want them to be the exact same size as your A and E blocks. So now we're just going to trim these up. I'm going to make sure and line up the diagonal line here, this diagonal line here on my ruler with my seam line. Down to the right size. Okay, there we go. I've got 4 of these. And so since you're making 4 blocks, go ahead and make 16 of these, and then you'll be able to get your blocks all sewn together. So easy, right? So now we just have our little quarter square triangle units and our squares, and then we're going to sew them together at like a 9 patch, and then we'll be done. This is an easy one, right? So just like this here when we're done. And so I'm going to just set that off to the side since I've already done that one. But you can keep your book handy. So you have your diagram there. Now I have, in my block, I have the pink to the inside. So that will make it look like this is a square and a square unit right here. Fuzzies everywhere. Set that there. And it's here. Easy, easy, right? So then I'm just going to sew these together and then add these on there, and then we'll be done.
You can just chain piece these together.
Leaving those attached by the little string is up to you. Some people like to do that. It helps keep them in order. Some people don't like to do that. I think I'm going to fall on the camp of maybe don't like to do that. At least not at this point. Okay, so here's where you're going to want to make sure that your seams are all going opposite directions so that your seams can nest. So you can maybe just finger press those. And so you want them to go away from your quarter square unit because the solid piece has less going on. And so the fabric just kind of tends to want to go that way. And then they will be opposites so that they'll nest. That makes sense? Hopefully. Line your seams up, nest those seams together just right. And put a little pin in there that'll help hold that in place. See here, you want to make sure that you don't chop off your point there.
So see, when you come up on there, you can make sure right where those seams come together is where you want to sew.
Oh crap. I messed up. I wanted my pink on the inside and I got busy talking to you and I messed up. So I'm going to take my seam ripper. Oh, not that side. That's the stiletto side. Take my seam ripper and get those out. You know, everybody does it. Everybody messes up, and you have to get out that seam ripper and do a little surgical repair here. And just make sure that when you do, you're careful. You know, I get about every 5 or 6 stitches. Just go through it like that. There's a lot of different ways. Sometimes people take their seam ripper and, you know, if you do, you can just go down the middle. Like this, but right now, because I have all these, I've got some bias edges, I don't want to do that. So the way I did it would be the way I recommend doing it. When you got to do it, no shame in it. No shame at all. Maybe some bad words now and then. Maybe a little extra chocolate necessary. No big deal. Maybe that's why I didn't want to leave those together like that. Okay, so I'm going to turn this way. The pink all in there. So there, put it in the right place. Nest those seams. And we'll try this again. See if I got this right this time. Much better. Okay. That was not planned.
This is such a fun and easy block.
I'm nervous. I hope I got this right. Oh, good. Yay. I got it right. I'm so happy. Okay. Now to iron it. Make sure my seams all go the same direction in the back. Okay, wow. And it's all pressed and ready to go. I did it. Yay! Oh, see, now if I can do it, you could do it too. I know you can. So just cut that fabric up and sew it back together again. All right, you got this. This is the Ohio Star Block. Remember, it's number 65 in our Quick and Easy Block Tool book. Number 65 in our Quick and Easy Block Tool book on page 77. You're going to make 4 of them, 9 inches, and that's it. Okay, so thanks for tuning in. I am so happy that you're doing this with me. I love it. Okay, so just remember, if you enjoyed my tutorials, thank you. I appreciate that. So remember to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the little bell thing so that you're notified next time I do a tutorial and post that. And that's it. Oh, and now make sure every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock on Facebook. I do a Facebook Live sale. It is a lot of fun. So if you have not stopped in on my Facebook Live sale, it's 10 o'clock Pacific time because I'm in Oregon. 10 o'clock Saturday morning, every Saturday morning. And yeah, I even came back from vacation in time so I could make sure and that I was there for that. So you be there too, because it's a lot of fun. We show some great fabric, notions, books, patterns, and it's a lot of fun. So we'll see you there, and we'll see you back here for our next tutorial in 2 weeks. All right, thanks. Have a great day. Bye now.